And Anthony Albanese claims negotiations for a free trade deal with the European Union are back on track thanks to the change in government. The Prime Minister is holding talks with world leaders on the sidelines of the NATO summit in Spain. Our political reporter Andrea Crothers has more from Madrid.
Anthony Albanese showing hope a free trade deal with the European Union may be accelerated after a sit-down with his Spanish counterpart, Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez. Australia was able to sign off on an agreement with the United Kingdom last year, but talks with the European Union have been more challenging. The Morrison government held its latest round of trade negotiations with the EU in February after months of delays in the wake of France's fury over the submarine saga. Mr Albanese taking a swipe at his predecessor.
It was clear that there were two impediments there. One was the Australian relationship with France and the breakdown that had occurred in recent times, given France's leadership role in Europe. And the second was Australia's position on climate change, where the perception by Europe and indeed by the world that Australia was a handbrake on global action on climate change was clearly hindering our capacity to enter into economic relationships with our European friends.
The PM says Spain showed support for progressing an agreement with his government. Any deal would still be at least 18 months away, but Mr Albanese was hopeful of fast-tracking the process. Meanwhile, Australia has joined a growing chorus of leaders calling for the world to hold the line on Russia, despite the economic fallout ricocheting around the globe.
It's a false dichotomy. We have no alternative.
The war in Ukraine and sanctions imposed on Russian oil and gas have sent prices soaring, driving up the cost of living. G7 leaders who will head to the NATO summit deciding to forge ahead with a global price cap on Russian oil imports. It comes amid fears oil bans will worsen the price crisis and is in a bid to curb Moscow's revenue funding its war chest.
This is a moral position. First and foremost, it overrides everything, but it's also an economic position as well. Vladimir Putin should be under no illusion that the world is just going to say, oh, well, this is too hard, we'll just move on.
Mr Albanese is aware the response to Russia's brutality isn't just about sending a message to Moscow, but a warning to China.